not show until February 27th, 2023. That's today, unless you're watching this video on any other day in the future, which is very, very likely. Hello, future people. Hello, people 1,000 years in the future, watching this because it's become some sort of historical religious document. I'm so sorry for the aftermath of this video and everything it's done to your culture. So anyways, I've got a box full of pedals from JHS here. 3 new Legends of Fuzz FUZZES, vintage FUZZES, re-realized in historic context so that you can experience the Velcro ripping, nasty, glitchy sounds of yesteryear. And a voltage starving pedal here, a little utility guy called the Volture. I'm gonna pretend it's pronounced Volture to make it sound fancy. It's totally not the Vulture. We've got the Berkeley fuzz here. Start laying these all out. The plug-in, this one, I remember from the email with JHS that this is based on the Jordan Boss Tone, which was one of those little, like, plug directly into your amp fuzzes from 1967. 1973 on the Berkeley. I don't remember what the Berkeley is, but this one is the Mary Kay, which is based on the K fuzz tone. Do I need the manuals for these? Maybe I should have the manuals pulled out, just for a point of reference as I go. And let's crack open the Volture here. Look at this guy. Cute little utility dude here. You plug in your source of power and then you go out with your new source of power and you can starve the voltage with this little knob here and click it on and off. It's been a long while since I had a functioning voltage starving little rig thing. I used to have the Dan Electrode, which was like a one-spot formatted product that you would plug pedals into it, and then you could starve the voltage, and it would do all sorts of fun, crazy things to fuzzes and drives and distortions and things like that. So I'll be using this with these at some point in this video. Also remind me to get into using the baritone, and maybe I'll do like a stereo rig at the end of the video or something like that, because that's what I like to do. I've got 4 pedals here, and I'm gonna make this video an hour and a half. I hope I don't make it that long, but let's plug these in and get into it. Let's do these in chronological order. 1967, 1969, and 1973. I'm going to use my Fender Player Plus Strat for maximum tonal versatility with humbuckers and singles and stuff like that. And of course, I'll be running into the 2 Princeton's rig. And let's get started. We're off to the fuzz races. I could read the manual, but let's get crazy and just turn it on. We've got a volume, an attack, and a side switch here for, I'm assuming, a mod of some sort? It says mode. Is it a mode or a mod? Volume is all the way down. The gain must be all the way down too. Here we go. Let's start off just diming it. All right off the bat, that's something. It is primordial and brutal and primitive and nasty, and got this like vocal kind of like fixed wah sort of thing going on. Let's see what the mode switch says it's gonna do on here. JHS mode, boosted gain with less compression and increased mid-range dynamics. Jordan Electronics released the first commercially successful US-based plug-in effect at the 1966 NAMM show, the Boss Tone. The original unit is a small 1 3/4 by 2 1/4 inch molded plastic box that plugs directly into the guitar's output jack. Unfortunately, plug-in effects never quite captured the practicality of a good old-fashioned stomp box, so we've created a floor bass pedal that features the same unique tone. I mean, unique is right off the bat. It's just that nasal cocked wah sound there. Let's try that mode switch. Oh, there we go. This thing is very input sensitive. The change from the bridge humbucker to the next single was pretty dramatic. Let's go through the attack knob here, the gain control. Here is max. And then it's gone. Now let's try it with the mode switch disengaged. So this is the more stock vintage correct sound here. Quiet. It's nastier. That vintage setting there, without the JHS mode, it's dirtier and nastier and crazier sounding on that low gain setting. that's dirty. That's a wild sound, that quacky little bit of like a wah vocal, a vowel thing happening there. Yeah, you really get that crazy, nasty nasal sound on the vintage mode. The JHS mode, that mod mode, doesn't quite have it. And you have to dial around the volume if you want to switch to it. Delightful. I really like that a lot. It's giving this very broken, very primitive, like just dawn of fuzz history sort of thing going on there. I want to use that. I'm gonna have to try that in Dinosaur Ghost. All right, on to the Mary Kay. There's a jack here for an expression pedal. I should probably find my expression pedal so that I can use that. Where do I keep my expression pedal? I finally found it. I was looking all over the room, then all over the house, and it was sitting on the shelf back there. So anyways, the Mary Kay Fuzz. Let's read the little blurb about this. I know that the original K fuzz tone had like a wah pedal sort of thing going on that controlled the tone of it. So I'm assuming that's what the expression jack is for. Although K Musical Instruments was founded by Henry K. Kermeyer in 1931, they didn't enter the guitar pedal market until the late 1960s with a series of knobless treadle-based plastic pedals, the Fuzz Tone F1, Tremolo T1, Wah-Wah W1, and Bass Boost B1. 54 years later, JHS is releasing our spin on the K Fuzz Tone. We've even added knobs and an expression pedal output for those who want to use it as it was originally intended. So, let's plug in an expression pedal. This fuzz requires accessories to get the full use of it. Let's see what we got here. By the way, I'm using a Moog or Moog or Moog expression pedal, depending on how you pronounce it. I really like this expression pedal. I have other expression pedals, but this is the one that just seems to work with everything, and it feels really solid. They're affordable. It's got a little knob on the side to control like your maximum toe position and things like that. I recommend it. I really do. Okay, let's see what we're getting into with this fuzz. Finally, I've been running around the house like crazy. I like it already. Maybe the frequency knob is the exact same as what the expression will control. Let's check that out real quick. Ah, it does control the frequency. So let's bypass that for a moment, and then we'll bring in the expression control. And there is a mode switch that increases the fuzz level with more pronounced mids. Ah, yeah, I love that. Again, really sensitive with the input volume. That's with the bridge pickup. The humbucker. Let's get this out of the shot. And here is the next single. So if you're using a guitar that's only got singles, low output singles, you're gonna get these sounds. If you're using a guitar with humbuckers, you're gonna get these sounds. Check out the range of that frequency control. Take it all the way down. Gnarly and dark. This would be a good one to try with bass. That's a fun sound. I can't wait to hit these with baritone. It's such a fun sound. Just these broken, nasty, dirty, fuzzy sounds here. That's what I like. All right, let's try the mode switch. I haven't done that yet. Go back. Oh, there it is. That's the song that first made me aware of fuzz. I had just started playing guitar. Smash Mouth's Walking on the Sun starts hitting the radio, and like that sound right there. That's what I want. Whatever they were using to make that sound, that's what I wanted. I just started experimenting with distortion and overdrives and things like that, and it took me a while find out on the internet that fuzz existed. So I've got Smash Mouth to blame for my fuzz addiction. But that's, in my head, it's making that sound that I've always been chasing. Ooh. I've got goosebumps right now, guys. I've got it out here on the table. I've had this on my board. You can tell there's Velcro on the back. I've had this on my board pretty consistently for the past like 6 months or something like that. I've been using the JHS Supreme from the Legends of Fuzz series. I'm gonna end up swapping some of these in. I'm curious to see what this sounds like in a mix, because it's doing this very gritty, nasty, kind of torn speaker sort of thing, which I love. But this is doing that full-blown Velcro sound that I've been chasing forever. Let's try it with the expression pedal now. I want to hear what it sounds like if I'm doing like a wah effect. We'll try it in the vintage mode first. That's kind of fun. It's not as dramatic as a wah, but that little roll off there from the really dark sound to a brighter sound. Try that with like with a delay and a reverb. Yeah, with this expression pedal, every expression pedal acts a little bit different, but with this one, the heel is really where the action is. It's right there. And then there's a lot of open room on the toe. But that's a fun little thing. On to the Berkeley, which I don't remember what it is. It was some fuzz that I'd never heard of before. In 1973, Sea Moon Incorporated, Sea Moon, released their flagship fuzz pedal, the Fresh Fuzz. This unique and somewhat odd distortion pedal gained popularity at the feet of artists like Tom Schultz from Boston and guitar virtuoso Eric Johnson. This is our tribute to the rare single op amp 741 version 1. There's a gain control, controls the overall output volume, and then the bite control controls the amount of fuzz. And then the JHS mode on the side is a bright switch. Greatly increases the treble frequency response. Interesting. So in stock condition, is it going to be pretty dang dark? I've heard versions of these two pedals before. This is a new one to me. The Sea Moon Fresh Fuzz. All right. New fuzz sound for me. Let's see if I like it. Yeah, that is dark and murky. To think about this one, it is so dark and kind of overdrivey. Let's try the mode switch. Let's see if that treble boost gets me where I like to live. There we go. Wow, ton of volume on tap here. I barely got that gain up. If I bring back the bite, will the bite act like a master volume? Listen to that little buzz in there. I'm so glad they have the treble boost mod on there because without that, I wouldn't like this at all. That is not my sound. Well, that has things going on that excite me. Listen to that again. Yeah. I love those little like torn speaker artifacts happening in there. And that's a Kinks machine right there. If you want that torn speaker sort of sound, this is giving it. Oh, I like that. That mod switch on there, the mode switch, the JHS mode, makes it for me. Because in its stock condition, That circuit's just way too dark for my taste. And you're missing all that fun, nasty, torn speaker, loose grit that's happening. Let's try stacking them, and then I'm going to throw baritone at everything. It's baritone time, baby. Let's see if I'm in tune. After this, I kind of want to do a stereo rig. I want to have these going into either amp with this in front of them to introduce a lot of brights or a lot of lows. Interesting with the baritone, and I probably was doing this with the regular guitar, where when I'm palm muting it, it sounds really like lo-fi, nasal, like AM radio, but then when I open up, it opens back up and it sounds full frequency again. That is interesting. I think it's because it's so sensitive to input gain. That dynamic weirdness right there, that's going to excite someone. I wish I'd discovered that earlier. Hopefully people who need to know about that made it to this point in the video. We're probably like an hour in now, right? A trip. So super lo-fi, gritty AM radio sounds with light picking, and then you dig in and it just gets massive and thick. That's a really fun trick for a fuzz pedal. I keep meaning to do a bass fuzz video where I try to find which fuzz I really like with bass guitar. I think that one's gonna be a strong contender. I love that thick, nasty, just Velcro ripping sound, especially with like a low end instrument like this. Makes its way through the through that stacked reverb and delay that I had on it. It really, like, you still get that Velcro rip, even stacking like a very heavy reverb into a delay. All right, on to the Berkeley. Dark on the stock setting. If you're looking for a woolly fuzz, that's it. And then on the other side of the extreme. There's a lot of stuff I'm doing in this video. I haven't even cracked in to the Volture yet. The Volture. This classy little device for starving voltage. Let's try that. We'll do one at a time here. Now, other voltage starvers I've used in the past, they don't play well with other pedals being on the same power source. We'll test that to see if this one does okay with that sort of arrangement. So there's the out. All right, let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. There we go. There's a sound right there. Test now and see if that negatively affects the power into another pedal if it happens to be running on the same circuit, because that is an issue that I've run into in the past. They don't like to share power supplies. Like if this operates the same way, you would need to run this off of a separate like one spot or something like that. It would need to be on its own power supply. Right now, all of this is sharing the same power brick that I have back here. Let's just start it out and we'll turn this off. All right, moment of truth. They seem to have addressed that issue. I'm not having any issues here. Maybe it's because of the power brick I'm using. Maybe if they were all daisy chained, it would be an issue. Let's test it just into the Mary Kay now, just so we know what that sounds like. I have a feeling I'm going to end up using the Volture here quite a bit in other videos. Maybe that'll be my new thing. Like, oh, let's test out baritone, let's test out stereo, let's test out voltage starving. Just to see what each pedal does when you voltage starve. I got confused and used the wrong jack. This one does not seem to like being voltage starved. That makes me think that it was already running on just minimum voltage. With it turned all the way up, it doesn't like it. Yeah, you really got to push it to get anything out of there, even with this turned all the way up. All right, let's try out the Berkeley now and see what happens. more into like this overdrivey sort of thing. That's interesting. The gain actually increases with voltage starving it. The output decreases for sure. But there's a lot more grit, a lot more dirt happening there with that voltage starving. This is exactly why it's fun to mess around with something like this, because you never know what's going to happen with whatever pedal you're messing around with. Is it going to give you some secret sound you didn't know it was capable of? Like I could go through and test like every single pedal I own, and I'd probably find some neat little tricks and secrets using the voltage starter with it, except for digital pedals. They don't like having their voltage starved. Let's set up that stereo rig now. Might as well go back to baritone for this. I'm running into the Berkeley, which is running into a switcher up here to split the signal into two. The plug-in is going into one Princeton, and the Mary Kay is going into the other Princeton. What am I missing? Why is there no volume? Oh, it's because this is not plugged into the power supply. Lots of output there. I'm sure many of you watched the official JHS video on these pedals before coming to this video. I want to know, did Josh run a baritone into a 3 fuzz pedal stereo rig? And then did he dime the reverb on both of the amps he was using? I'm just curious. Just curious if Josh covered that very important sonic territory. Like, people are not really going to be able to accurately shop for fuzz pedals like this unless they see that specific rig, unless they experience it through their phone speakers while they sit on the toilet and their spouse is like, honey, why have you been on the toilet for an hour and a half? Not now, I'm learning about fuzz. Like, we all know that scenario. We all live it. So anyways, huge thanks to JHS for thinking of me and including me in the launch of these wonderful pedals here. I've got a lot to be excited about here. I really, really want to try the plugin and the Mary Kay with my various music projects. Just that Velcro rip of the Mary Kay and that nasty, just primordial, primitive torn speaker sort of sound from the plugin, and also the Berkeley with that mode switch engage, like boosting the treble, getting that really nice, like torn speaker grit. I wish they were one pedal. I wish all these were one pedal with a big dial so I could select each one to figure out which one I need on my board. When I'm playing with the band, I'm gonna have to bring all 3 of these with me to band practice to see which one I like. And I've still got the Supreme, which I absolutely adore. Big problems, guys. Big problems for Ryan. How is he gonna choose which fuzz to use? All right, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me a rude and nasty comments. Support us on Patreon. Buy a shirt if you're naked. Click all the links. I'll have links to this guitar and to this guitar, as well as all these pedals from JHS, obviously. And you know what? Stay grounded. Bye, everybody.